experience as a color technician in the automotive industry proved invaluable and was applied to rigid protocols used in our color lab.
As a lab technician, I had prior experience as a laboratory technician and working there with the automotive refinish and the automotive OEM. Car colors would come out every year. We would match the color that came from Ford or General Motors. Well, color is an amazing thing. We don't have to see a color to imagine it in our mind. School bus yellow, Coca-Cola red, a CVS red, a Walmart blue, Pepsi blue. We immediately see those colors in our minds. We don't have to see it visually, but we make the connection. Fire engine red or candy apple red. We see that apple at the carnival. We see that shine. It's almost like we can reach out and touch it and taste it. We not only see it visually, but it really makes a connection in our minds and in our hearts.
If you're a designer looking for inspiration or colors for your next project, you can find a color wheel and tools and commands at color.adobe.com. It is the rule that creates a relationship between all these colors around the color wheel. Change your color wheel to monochromatic, triad, complementary, compound, shades, etc. You have a white triangle on one of the colors. This is known as your base color. If you were to select another base color, you would see that the colors actually change, and they also change around the color wheel. So now, just from that one color, you're actually creating a whole color palette. The first rule is called analogous. You start with a base color in the middle, and you'll notice that it has two colors on either side, but they have different hue values, adjacent hue values. Monochromatic rule keeps everything in the same range. To change the hue of the colors, select your base color, which is going to make it the active selection here on the color wheel. Click and drag around the circle to change the hue. The triad rule is driven by three distinct points around the color wheel. Notice how everything moves around like a windmill. As you drag inward or outward, they all match that movement alongside. The complementary rule means that you're dealing with polar opposite colors. Now it just depends on which one of these colors you set as the base. You could also just go through and set up a custom rule. Type in all the color values for a specific project, for instance. You can always specify colors by using the value system down at the bottom. We use CMYK, which is the standard for commercial printing.
I'm just searching the formula, and that's bringing up my formula, the 70AWH. And there we're seeing the amount going into the pail. But this is telling me how much the amount's going in. I need 2.93 pounds. I'm going to go to my next ingredient, 0.33 pounds of hydroviolet.
We do a color roll-off.
I have this, the roll-off color simulates the analog flow, depending on what analog flow we're using.
We'll do that color roll-off on the substrate, on the paper that it's going to be run on. We do that in our lab, and we have different proofers that are going to simulate the analog's roll and evaluate it versus a standard. We're going to see if it's a good color match. Theoretically, what should happen at the machine. Take the sample that's produced, and we're going to evaluate that to the standard.
We're going to slip it into the machine, but that's to give us a uniform rollout. So then we're going to take one of the colors and just do a roll off on it.
Well, there are certainly challenges when you're talking about a color lab, a good repetitive system. Can I match a color today that I matched 3 months ago? Some of the challenges are to keep a good filing system where we keep all our standards and past matches. Spectrophotometer program stores our standards and we back those up. It's not necessarily easy, but it makes it simpler. Keep track of where the color's been, where it's going. From those numbers, we can tell how good or how bad the match is and adjust the match accordingly. To make changes as we go along to maintain that color.
So we're going to add some of the blue and some of the violet. They're the colorants. They're what's going to drive the color darker. 485C red is the Pantone color number.
We can't just use this because we also need to know this and this, so we get to this.
We're going to go there right now. Make sure our targets are within ranges. Light to dark. A value, B value is our scales color-wise. Chromatism and hue is how the color is reacting. As long as we're under a 2, ready to go.